Good afternoon and welcome to my half-assed channel. My name's Adam Kahn, and I'll start with the usual disclosure. I'm not a financial planner, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant. Please use any of the information I provide as entertainment purposes only. So, what an exciting week. Oh my God. CPI came in low. Markets are reacting great. Great start to the year. Everybody's still nervous, talking about the recession that's going to come. I don't know. And maybe the Fed ends up having the reverse, which is what the markets are kind of telling us, especially the bond market. I don't know that I see that the same way. My thoughts are more along the lines of the Fed is being straightforward, that they plan to at least hold the rates up for a while to make sure that we don't see the inflation come again and cause new problems. But between the unemployment and the CPI and my thoughts on what rents are really doing and what I see between friends and family and the stresses they're feeling, I think the economy is really slowing. And if the economy is really slowing and the companies are still strong and they're able to push through it profitable, I see these things on sale. I want to be like Kramer and be like, buy, 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 and those silly things that these people do. But I mean, I want to be cautious as a trader, but it's why I keep saying, the people who, if you want to make money in stocks and you want to invest, don't let the professionals outthink you or use language that's scary. I'll tell you, I love Meta, formerly Facebook, right? Stocks, 130, 140-ish now, went real low. I own it from the 300s. I still love the company. He's taking a risk. He's doing some things that they're pricing into the stock. What I argue is that on the day when I bought it in the 300s, it was properly priced. I've bought more higher, I bought more lower. I buy little enough that when it drops, that's not my main concern. My main concern is, do I still believe in this company? And there are certain ones that, yeah, I like those companies. And when the stock goes lower, maybe it's on sale. And ignore all the noise of the war in Ukraine. Sorry, I know that's not noise, but all the things going on with the Fed and the economy and everything else, and know that if you own good, solid companies and you give an array of 10 or 20 of them, that they'll prevail no matter what economy comes at them, especially if you pick the ones that are tried and true and been through it before. But I try to pick ones I still see an ability to grow. What I love about a company like Amazon, especially, so like last year when we went on a wonderful trip to Europe, I bring that in because Amazon isn't really big there. Now, they exist, but when we started driving along the country, I said to my wife, I go, I've only seen about one Amazon truck. What I love about that is they have a good system in place already. There's no reason for me to think they won't be able to now implement that in other places all around the world and find ways to be profitable there, just like they are here. I saw the same thing with a lot of other companies, so I try to stick with companies that are tried and true and big, and I'm comfortable that they're going to weather any storm, but that I still think they have potential to grow. Whatever companies you know about, what I would stick with is just the companies you think are the best of anything. I mean, I think I'm like Peter Lynch on steroids. At least Peter Lynch does the research of where the companies are and what's going on. I don't want to say I don't, because I constantly read. I'm watching everything I can. Really, I just suck in everything I can about the markets, and I love to read. My friends will send me articles on all sorts of things, and I keep up with anything I can. But what I value is that Fidelity and all of these other companies are doing enough research that today the company I'm buying is priced properly for all the information that's available at it today. Somebody has done enough research and there's enough push back and forth that based on all the analytics, it's fairly priced. Maybe it goes lower, maybe it goes higher, but I can avoid a lot of fees by going to places and just buying the companies I like. Now, I take it one step further. I try to pay attention to price as well. I'll try to buy real heavy when things are discounted in my mind. I see Amazon, Facebook, Disney when it was a little bit lower. I like Cracker Barrel and Foot Locker, but I really stick AbbVie. I really stick to some general core positions. Starbucks is just one of those that I feel like, how I felt about McDonald's when I was a kid. It's got a little bit more room, but my God, you see the lines of Starbucks in China, and I couldn't believe in Europe people are in line for Starbucks with all of these wonderful family coffee shops with outdoor seating and this wonderful cappuccino and there's people in line waiting to get in at Starbucks. Well, that's a good company I want to own. Not, I hope the stock goes up, I want to own the company. You want to turn $500 into $1 million, different type of bet. You want to put a big amount of money in something that's going to do better than what you have in a bank account. That's what I'm looking for in terms of return. And then a mix of other things. Real estate, I'll say I'm finally seeing some things I like. I'm a little disconnected is what I think, because boy, prices have gone up a lot, and rates, even though they're coming down now, the monthly payment looks like it still needs a little bit more contraction before it feels bottomy to me. But to be fair, the things that I see in the equities should translate into the housing as well. But as somebody who owns some property, when I do the math of what I see in rental properties, I don't see the like I'm not drawn to go buy a property with what the return is right now. It is possible that that there's a lack of inventory and the prices will go up and somebody will get paid for that, but I don't want to take that type of risk with any investment that I would make as big. I don't want to say that it's not a good investment, and I think you should be spread into different things, and I own some real estate, but I don't want to dive in yet, but I don't know that it's wrong either. The real estate's really tough for me, especially I do mortgage, so I see that end of it, which is why I say I see a little bit of the monthly payment and where our rates are and what people get for the home. But it might be a little bit Vegas specific that we've become a more attractive place to live. I think the remote and everything else is legit. And I've got some ideas about where we'll see some real value in other places as well, which relates to the currencies and everything else, which, oh my God, if anybody watches those, how great were they? Euro's above 109, the yen's above 78. I am prepared that there might be a really big pullback because the run has been huge, but they're still too cheap. Like, I still see the currencies moving in the same direction and the dollar continuing to weaken. I'm just amazed how big the move has been, but nobody really watches the currencies, which is what's so amazing about them, because to me, that's really what runs the world. When I watch the YouTubers and the this and that and the disconnect of how much the currency comes into play, when you think of all of these, McDonald's and Coca-Cola and Chanel and all, like, they're not going to sell to Spain and Portugal and all of these places and not be profitable. So as those currencies continue to weaken, they don't need to raise their prices. I don't know how to explain what inevitably ends up happening is the currencies come back into alignment, and now it's profitable again to sell it where they were selling it. It just seems to play out over time. And then for whatever reason, it drifts the other way, where all of a sudden, it's cheap to go to America. Like, I love the travel concept because you see it over years. Maybe 6-8 years ago, when all the people from Europe were coming to America because, oh my God, it was so cheap to come here because their currencies were so strong, it's reversed. And that happens. It just takes a long time for it to happen. So anyway, If anybody wants to give a thumbs up, like the channel, that'd be really cool. I think there's like 1 or 2 of you that are watching, so I think it's pretty funny. But, you know, I like talking to myself, so I don't mind either, and it's kind of fun. So as long as I get a view or 2 and can smile a bit, hopefully we keep it around, and maybe over time you'll see me start actually, you know, putting in things that make it look a little more professional. So it'll be fun maybe the YouTube stuff is fun also. So send out a shout if you ever want to say hi, whatever it takes. Bye-bye.